afternoon, everyone. As you know, yesterday we were discussing the topic sex determination and we have discussed its four types. The first one was XX, XO type. Second one, XX, XY type. Third one, ZW, ZZ type. And the fourth one, ZO, ZZ type. Clear? These four types of sex determination we have discussed yesterday. Now today we shall discuss two more types of sex determinations. The fifth one is haploid diploid type of sex determination. Now, haploid diploid type of sex determination. Now here comes the question. What is the meaning of haploid and what is the meaning of diploid? Firstly, let me explain this with an example of human body. As you know, our body is diploid. If I talk about one cell of my body, let it be skin cell. So each and every cell of my body, it is diploid, having 2n number of chromosomes. So in one cell of my body, 2n number of chromosomes are present. This is a diploid stage when 2n number of chromosomes are present. But if I talk about the gametogenesis, while the formation of gametes, as you know, due to meiosis, the gametes produced in case of human beings, they are haploid. So sperms and the egg, they will be having n set of chromosome, or I can say they are haploid. Am I clear? So diploid means a condition in which 2n set of chromosomes are present, or I can say 2 set of chromosomes are present. And haploid, a condition in which only n number of chromosomes are present. There is no set. Now, let us talk about haploid diploid type of sex determination. Its most common example is honey bee. Now in honey bee, you might have seen the different varieties. There is a queen, male workers, drones. Now how are they produced? The answer lies in this type of sex determination. What happens actually in honey bee and in some other bees, wasp, the haploid type of organism is male while the diploid is female. Am I clear? So what is happening in honey bee? If the honey bee is having haploid number of chromosomes, then it will be a male. And if it is having diploid number of chromosomes, then it will be a female. Let us discuss this with the help of a cross. Suppose here I am having a male and then female. Clear? As I told you, what is there in case of honey bee? The male is having haploid set of chromosome. So let me denote it by N. And the female is having diploid set of chromosome. So let me denote it by 2n. Now after that there will be gametogenesis. Okay, we are talking about the crossing now. So firstly there will be gametogenesis. After that there will be fertilization. So here, if haploid state is there, then you have read in class 11th, in the haploid cells, meiosis occurs. Okay, so now what will happen? You have read in class 11th that in the haploid cells, mitosis occurs. In them, meiosis is not possible as they are having n set of chromosome. Okay, if they will undergo meiosis, and in meiosis, you know that meiosis is reductional division. So the resultant daughter cells produced, they will be having half the number of chromosome. So if this n will undergo meiosis, it will form n by 2. That is not genetically possible. Okay, so in haploid cells, it is a thing that they will never undergo meiosis. Although while the gamete formation, the meiosis is taking place, but here from the male, while the formation of gametes, mitosis will occur, there will not be meiosis. Am I clear? So from the male, the gamete will be produced, and now this gamete will be having n number of chromosomes as it is being produced by the process of mitosis. Now if I talk about the female body, as female is having diploid set of chromosome, so while the formation of egg, or I can say while gametogenesis, it will undergo the process of meiosis. Okay, so there will be meiosis and gametes will be produced, and these gametes will be having n set of chromosome. Clear? Now let us make a cross. What will happen if this n will fuse with this? As I told you, what is happening in honeybee actually, the haploid one is male and the diploid one is female. Now suppose this male gamete having n set of chromosome fuses with this female gamete having n set of chromosome. Okay, so the male gamete having n set of chromosome is being fused with the female gamete having n set of chromosome. So the resultant zygote will be having 2n set of chromosome, and but obvious in the future it will become a female. As I told you, female is having diploid set of chromosome. Clear? Now I think it is clear how female is produced. Now let us talk about the male. What happens? Suppose here is the second gamete. Okay. Now what happens in the honeybee? One female gamete, it doesn't fuses with the male gamete. Clear? The female gamete will not fuse with the male gamete. So what will happen? This female gamete, it will directly transform itself into the male. Without fertilization, when the female gamete directly transforms itself into the male, then this process is known as parthenogenesis. So basically what will happen, this female gamete, it will not fuses with the male. If it would have fused, then it would have result in the formation of the female only. Clear? That I told you now. Now I am talking about the second case, that is also possible. 50% chances are there for both the cases. Now what happens? This female gamete, it will not fuse with the male gamete. It will undergo parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis means without fertilization, it will directly form the adult, and in this case the adult is male. So this female gamete without fertilization will form the male, and as fertilization is not there, so the gamete was having n set of chromosomes. So again the male will be having n set of chromosome. Am I clear? So basically in honeybee, the determining factor, the sex determining factor is the number of chromosomes. If the number of chromosomes is n, then the honeybee would be male. And if the number of chromosomes is 2n, then the honeybee would be a female. The males are produced by parthenogenesis, that is without fertilization. That's why they are haploid. While if I talk about the females, they are produced by fertilization. That's why they are diploid. So clear? Haploid, diploid type of sex determination in which the number of chromosomes will determine the sex of the child. Now let us talk about the sixth type of sex determination, that is environmental sex determination. Environmental sex determination. Now as the name suggests, in this case the sex of the child would be determined by the environmental factors, not by the chromosomes. Suppose I am having the example of turtle. Okay, turtle lays eggs. Now here there is an egg of turtle. Now this egg will develop into male or female. It will be determined by the environmental conditions. It is not at all determined by the chromosomal factor. Now if this egg is incubated at lower temperature, less than 28 degrees Celsius, if the eggs of turtle, they are incubated under the low temperature less than 28 degrees Celsius, then it was observed that most of the eggs, they develop into male. And if the eggs, they are incubated at high temperature more than 33 degrees Celsius, then what happened? Most of the eggs, they develop into female. And if the temperature is in between 28 to 33 degrees Celsius, the number of the females and the males produced, it was quite proportionate. So here, as you can see, temperature, that is an environmental factor. It is responsible for determining the sex of the child. So this is environmental sex determination. Am I clear with the topic? Okay, now let us talk about one more topic, that is mutation. Now, what do you mean by the term mutation? Mutation means changes in the sequence of DNA. Clear? Mutation means changes in the sequence of DNA. Now, as you know, in the chromosomes, these are two sister chromatids. Okay, first and second. So these are two sister chromatids. Now, in the chromatids, the DNA is present. If there is any change in the helix of that DNA, then obviously there will be change in the chromosome, and as a result, the genotype and the phenotype of that particular organism would be affected. So mutation causes the changes in the DNA, or I can say the chromosome. Clear? Which results in the disruption of the genotype and the phenotype of an organism. Now if I talk about the sources of mutation, then the agents that are responsible for inducing mutations, they are known as mutagens. So the sources of the mutations that are responsible for inducing mutations, they are known as mutagens, like radiations, gamma rays, X-rays, various types of chemicals are there. They are responsible for inducing the mutations in the cancerous cells. Cancer is caused due to mutation only. Okay, this cell loses the mechanism for the controlled growth. They will keep on dividing due to mutation only. Now, if I talk about the different types of mutation, then it is of two types: chromosomal mutation and gene mutation. Let us talk about chromosomal mutation. As the name suggests, in the chromosomal mutation, there is a change in the DNA sequence of the chromosome. But in the gene mutation, here there is a change in one or two or maybe more than that. There is a change in the base pair in the DNA. If we'll talk about the structure of the chromosome, okay, then there are present base pairs. So if there is a change in those base pairs, then it leads to gene mutation. But if there is a change in the DNA sequence present on a chromosome, then this is chromosomal mutation. Okay, in gene mutation, there is a change in a small segment of the DNA, or I can say. But here, the changes in the DNA helix, a big change is there. Suppose, let me talk about its different types. The first one is deletion. Now what happens in deletion type of chromosomal mutation? Suppose here I am having a chromosome. Okay, I am talking about one chromatid right now. So in deletion, what will happen? A segment of DNA, it will get deleted. Now the chromosome will become shorter than the actual size. Suppose here there is A gene, B, C, D. Suppose this portion got deleted. Now what will happen? The resultant will be like this. Now can you see? Here the C is there, D is there, but the A and B gene, they has been deleted. Okay. So now this results in obviously change in the genotype and the phenotype of the organism. Its example is Cry-do-chat syndrome in case of human beings. What happens basically? The humans, those who suffered from Cry-do-chat syndrome, there is a deletion in the 5th chromosome. As you know, we are having 46 chromosomes. So if there is a change, if there is a deletion of a DNA segment in the 5th chromosome, then the person suffers from the Cry-do-chat syndrome. And why is it known as Cry-do-chat? Cry, because in this syndrome, basically it is genetic syndrome. Now the baby that is being, you can say, the produced after this kind of mutation, the cry of that baby, it will resemble the voice of a cat. Clear? So this is deletion, and in this one chromosomal segment it will get shorter as there is deletion of the DNA segment. Now second type of chromosomal deletion is inversion. Now what happens in inversion? There is inversion of the segment of the DNA. Now how this happens, just see. Suppose here I am having a chromosome. Again A, B, C, D. Now what will happen? One segment of DNA, it will get inverted. Now what will happen? The sequence is A, B. Now it can become B, A, like this. The length will remain same, no doubt. But now the position of the genes, it has been changed. Earlier it was A, B. Now it will become B, A. So this segment, it will get deleted and then it will again get rejoined, but in an inverted manner. So here is C, here is D. As you can see, there is a change in the location of DNA segment. So this is again a chromosomal mutation. It will again change the genotype and the phenotype of the organism. Now, one more type of chromosomal mutation, it could be translocation. Now what happens in translocation? Basically, 2 chromosomes are affected. Now what happens? Just see. Suppose here I am having the first. Let me denote it like this only. That will be more convenient in understanding. Here the second chromosome. Clear? Suppose this chromosome is having A gene, the B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Okay. And here I am having the second chromosome. It is non-homologous. Okay. So it will be having, suppose, U gene, V, W, X. Clear? So now what will happen in translocation? 2 chromosomes will be affected. Suppose the first one, it is undergoing deletion. Suppose this segment will get deleted. Or this is also possible that the intercalary segment, means the C and D gene, this segment can also get deleted. It could be terminal, it could be intercalary. Now suppose it is terminal. So what will happen? This DNA segment having the A gene and the B gene, it will get separated, or I can say deleted. And this segment will get joined on this non-homologous chromosome. Now this will become like this. Just see. A and B got deleted. Now its length will get shorter. Clear? Suppose here I am having the centromere. Now it is having this segment only. Now the length of this chromosome will get shorter. Now the second chromosome, what will happen? It will get longer. Now earlier it was having U, V, W, X. Now this A and B, this DNA segment will also get joined. Am I clear? Now the next type of mutation, that is gene mutation, we will discuss in our next class. Okay, thank you.